Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to follow up hopefully in time before the close on that last email that I just sent out to all the e-letter members, which should mean that everybody got it. I'm going to send this one out first to premium, and then I'll get to the e-letter right after that. We should have time. I'm going to keep this brief. Gold is bouncing right here at, off of that 1780. It could go either way, but I'm calling the lows. I think there's a really good chance it holds here and actually into the end of the day may very well see a rip back up near 1800. If that's the case, this is where guys like me have gotten ahead. Frankly, is nobody's responding. Everybody's given up on gold and gold stocks. There's nobody around acting on my email right away. And everybody is afraid, and nobody understands the dynamics, it seems, between Bitcoin and fiat and gold and crypto and bonds and yields and this and that. Let me just tell you something, and I'm doing this because I hope that you guys benefit. There's a certain percentage of my subscribers and clients over the years. I was a broker for a long time that make money consistently, and it's not many of us. But the biggest thing to change is when. Not only the fundamental reason of why you would want to own something. In my premium service, I talk a lot about position sizes and making sure that that's appropriate. It can be increased instead of getting squeezed out or frustrated, or looking short term, and how to take profits, which is the toughest part of this game. To me, the buying is the easy part. And I've called a lot of freaking bottoms right here in this newsletter, okay, including the March of 2020 bottom in gold stocks. Anybody who bought those silver options, the leaps, I mean, those things were up like 700% in 3 months. Look, the bottom line is this. You aren't hearing from me as much. And part of the reason for that, a big part of it, it's part of it. I'm not leaving this newsletter service. In fact, I'm more bullish than ever on this space. So that means I'm going to be very vocal early on in the bull cycle once we see that happening. And I'm going to be active because things are just so cheap in the miners. And what I see coming with the critical metals, some of the base metals I love, some, like copper, I like having exposure, but it's a big market. Nickel's going to be insane. I've got this vanadium play. Do you guys know what vanadium does in terms of the criticalness of strengthening steel, the redox flow battery, and the efficiency of this? There are technologies coming up. You're hearing about people with, extending, like tellurium came out. There's a small company that could extend the battery life by 400%. How about extending a charge 100-fold with vanadium? It's not done yet. This is being worked on. I am so deep. When I come out with anything that I talk about, I'm not just doing it on a whim. The services I use technically and for deal flow, the relationships I have for ideas, I've challenged myself over and over, and I'm just continuing to try to get better and better and not share things that are, promotional or whatever. I've done that in the past. And, I was always trying to get ahead. When that stopped, and I've only set a standard of getting involved with the best people, the best deals, being selective. And then I did my homework in crypto. You guys have watched me that have been here. I've gotten extremely wealthy by doing what I've been talking about. I don't have it all, documented. I'm messy with that stuff. And I'm, hiring people to help me with those type of things and, my online portfolio and organization. But look, that's kind of what you want when you're in a newsletter, right? You want the person who's guiding you to do well, to show, instead of just relying on their newsletter revenue. I don't take any marketing clients at all anymore. I took one in because I think it's an amazing deal, Denarius. And I did that for giving the proceeds to my foundation that helps dogs. And frankly, I don't need any more money ever again. And that's because of the way that I did things differently this time. But it comes down to, and I called the bottom in the crypto pullback on Twitter, July 22nd. There's not a lot of people that come out and say, this is the low on the correction. I can always be wrong, but I do make bold calls, and I have been wrong before in terms of my enthusiasm. But ultimately, I'm generally pretty good and right. And sometimes, a lot of times, more than others, I stick it. And then it's a question of where do you buy it? Where do you sell it? The challenge for me and a lot of us is, can you do things at the right time? You have to do it. It's a contrarian brain action. Your emotions are telling you this guy doesn't, I don't know what's going to happen. The Fed's raising rates. I'm seeing this all in the news. Fuck the Fed. Okay. Let me tell you that. The Federal Reserve and the fiat currency system, the central banking system of the world, we're seeing the last gasps of this thing. And it is going to be destroyed completely by cryptocurrency and what Bitcoin allowed for. You can get into a debate about this and that. This debt-ridden economy, you think the Fed is going to go ahead and they're going to be able to basically go ahead and like keep raising rates back to a normal 5 or 6 or 7% with like $350 trillion of global debt? How much of that is priced in US dollars? A lot of it. Or the euro, and the euro is a piece of trash too. When this stuff goes up in the US dollar, it does it in a sense of against other fiat spot prices, okay, against the euro, against this. Price it in gold, folks. Gold from the early 1970s. And I've made more money in crypto than I have probably cumulatively in my life in the gold and mining sector, but that is what's staked to me. And I am planning on making plenty, and I have. And that is because gold, people in the crypto sector don't know what the hell they're talking about with gold. They're actually stupid. Some of the most absolute, the absolute best guys, the smartest guys, the biggest guys, the richest guys. I can't wait to talk to Raul Paul next week and some other folks like him that I've got in the queue to have a discussion about this. The ripest area for people to come in and adopt Bitcoin are the gold people. We understand the monetary system. And you're going to say it's going to take market share from gold. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. And you can tell me two things, crypto people. Where in the hell in the white paper does it talk about a store of value? Okay, let's start with that. Number two, I'm not in Bitcoin for a store of value. I'm in Bitcoin to make 100x. Aren't you? I'm in this as a risk asset and an early risk asset and a network effect and adoption. I'm in it for venture type returns. Gold since 50 years ago off the gold standard. Look at what's happened. 35 US dollars to buy 1 ounce of gold now takes 1,800. Gold compounds at 9% plus per year every year. And that isn't gold compounding above anything. It's the deterioration of our money that they steal. So you guys should be excited about this situation where we are. Buying gold is the safest place on planet Earth for my money. That's the bottom line. And the second thing is these mining stocks, you just wait. You're all going to be buying them. I don't know if it's going to be in a year, 6 months, 3 months, or 2 years. But this situation coming up, you got to buy before. Do you remember? You buy low, you sell high. If you buy after every other schmuck, you're just chasing stuff. I gave you my top pick, Phenom Resources. I own like 6% of this company. I've got tons of stock I've been buying higher than this. I just put in $400,000 with Rob McEwen at 40 cents Canadian. The only thing I want to do with this one is be supportive on its way to 20, 30, or 40 bucks a share. We're going to shock you. This is a Phenom deal. This ain't some other piece of shit, okay? And then the other ones, the nickel plays, the gigas, the NICL, the MUR, you'd be very well served to look into that. And that's what I'll leave here, and I want to get this to you before the close. So I get a little passionate about this stuff these days because you wanted to talk about our liberty and our freedom if you were a gold person. I'm not a gold bug. I'm a gold bull, okay? I don't get stuck in the mud. I made a fortune on crypto because I'm innovation-wise. I'm very, very open-minded, and I'm a venture angel investor in technology. I'm going to leave it here. But if you guys bought gold for the reasons that you were afraid of, government overreach and control, we're here. It's there. What are you doing?